Tonight, I'd like to, I know we have some scouts here from Troop 621, 623, and at least one of them is in uniform. So if you do the honor, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. But I guess I could have given you a little bit of warning. Thank you. All right. Right on time tonight. The first item is the approval of the agenda. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. That is approved. Next item is the approval of the Board of Education meeting minutes from August 20th. Need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. And any abstentions?
Was that an abstention? Okay.
Do we have any paper cards tonight? All right, we'll just pass that up. We'll go straight to the superintendent and board comments and turn it over to Dr. Knost.
Thank you, Joel. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for being here, gentlemen. Appreciate that. A few things to mention. The advanced placement scores, AP exams, as most know them, are in for the 2014-15 school year. That's last year. And Rockwood students continue to excel. A total number of 4,587 exams were taken by 2,214 students. That is an increase in both categories from last year. 85% of Rockwood students scored a 3 or higher on at least one exam in 2014. That compares to the Missouri average of 63% and the global average of 60.7%. And if you're not familiar with the AP exams, they're graded on a 1 through 5, 5 being the best score. You need a 3 if you want college credit. So that's why they highlight the students scoring a 3 or higher. And that's something to be proud of. So our kids are obviously living well up to our expectations when it comes to the AP exams. Congrats to all of them. Ridge Meadows 5th grade teacher, Cornelia Levels, was honored by a former student this week. Rockwood alumnus Justin Krailman surprised Ms. Levels with a television crew from Fox 2 for their Pay It Forward segment. She won $500 for inspiring Justin in his life. Those are always special moments and very cool, and I believe that is going to air tomorrow on Channel 2. So watch out for that, and congratulations to Ms. Levels. That's awesome. Rockwood South student Allison Pang won first place in the Diverse City Art Competition. The contest offers students the opportunity to present their independent understanding and awareness of diversity and inclusion within their communities and school. Congratulations to Allison. A Marquette student was one of a dozen recent high school graduates honored for high scholastic achievement in August. Taja Shepard was not only awarded a one-time $3,000 scholarship, but she was surprised with a new laptop. Each year, McDonald's of St. Louis partners with the UNCF to provide college scholarships through its Academic Excellence Awards Scholarship Program. So congratulations to Taja. And something that I hope you've heard about, we're launching this and trying to make a little bit of a splash, and it's just an idea that I came up with last year, and I've been talking to Kathy about it for quite some time, and we thought that it would be a neat thing. But we're looking for a kid superintendent. You've heard of the kid president, and it's just a cute, fun thing. I want to do it because I really want to give just another voice to students. I want to have a young person. I don't care what age. We'll see how it comes out. I don't care if it's elementary, middle, or high school, but just somebody that we can have some fun with this, and would definitely be somebody that I would confer in beyond all my advisories that I have at the high schools. I have an advisory at each of the 4 high schools. So we're asking kids to submit a video if they're interested. If they can't put a video together, we're sending Curtis out to do a short video of them explaining why they're interested in being kid superintendent. We had a little fun. It's taken off in the social media world. It got out there a little bit, And an education colleague in another district tweeted at Kid President the other night and said, "Move over, Kid President, Kid Superintendent's coming." And Kid President tweeted back and said something kind of cute, said, you know, there's enough awesome kids to go around or something like that. So he always uses that word, be awesome, you know. So we're excited about it, and a couple of people have asked me why we're doing it, and the straight up answer is because it's fun. Because it's fun. There's, you know, we want to give kids voices to the best of our ability, and it's just something fun to do. And our district, I can tell you, the buildings I've been in, our kids are energized about it. The word's still getting out because sometimes announcements are a little more effective and depending on what's going on in the school on a certain day. But we have cards, and those who are students that are here, if you're interested, you know anybody, you can get these cards in your office, but it tells you what you need to do if you're interested in being the kid superintendent for the Rockwood School District. And I think that this will be a highly publicized thing, and through social media, we'll get attention beyond our school district, and who knows, maybe even nationwide. So we'll see what happens, but we're going to have some fun with it. And I don't know if this was here, if this was a reminder for me to tell everybody that a week from tomorrow is the Eureka Days Parade. A couple of us are going to be in that, and it's the location, we're asked to arrive at 9 a.m. at Sacred Heart Church, which is there on East 4th Street in Eureka. And the parade begins at 10, rain or shine. Last year it rained lightly through the whole thing, but we still had fun. So anybody involved in that, 9 a.m., that's a week from, I said tomorrow, I meant Saturday, a week from Saturday. The 11th, I think that's the 11th, or the 12th.
Yeah, one of them.
I just said the 12.
12. Yeah, I did say that, didn't I?
12.
Yeah, it's because it says it for me. So that's all I have.
All right. Any other board comments?
I do want to go back to two things, one thing plus. You went through the numbers pretty quickly on the AP scores, the AP tests and the scores. Ours will stack up better than any other district in the state of Missouri. The number that stands out to me the most from working with this over the years is that 83%?
85.
85% had a 3 or above. That's just unheard of. You may have some districts, kids take a lot of tests, but they'll have a lot of 2s and 1s. That 3 at 85% is just outstanding, 3, 4, or 5.
What can I brag about my son then? 'Cause
Brag about your son.
he took 3 AP exams. He's taking those classes in college now as a freshman. You know what he says? This is easy. It's because of the teachers.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it's easy. He didn't take a test yet.
The other one was the tremendous video you put out last week, I think, of the development of the artificial turf at Eureka High School. I watched it 3 times. I don't know what that means, but really it is fun to watch how they tore the ground up and put the new artificial turf on. And all 4 are ready now, is that right?
We're really, really close on Summit and Lafayette still.
Lafayette's real close. They're
Yeah.
almost in the same exact spot.
Yeah.
So they're real close.
Do they have games tomorrow night at home?
No,
Oh, okay.
not Summit Lafayette.
That was a wonderful video. I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Any other board comments? I will do as I always do, welcome the scouts here tonight. As everybody knows, on the way to Eagle Scouts, there's a couple of merit badges that require you to go to a public meeting, and that's communications and citizen community. So maybe a mix may all be one tonight, but welcome. You picked a good night. The agenda is fairly short. There probably won't be anybody throwing anything or things, so glad to see you here.
Can they introduce themselves and tell us where they go to school? Would they do that?
Somebody care to step up, tell us who you are, what schools you go to?
Dad pushed me from behind.
I'm Zach
Seems they talk to fire engines.
Churchill, I go to rescue. Michael Schmitz, I go to rescue as well. James Johnson, Marquette. Louis King, Marquette.
Thank you, guys.
Hey guys.
Thanks, guys.
Wait,
Glad to see you here.
We're proud of you.
Got a theme going.
All right, we're going to move on to the consent agenda items. We need a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second. And seconded. Any conversation about those? All right, we'll go ahead. All those in favor of the approval, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. Ms. Vito, that passes.
Thank you.
right, move on to the agenda items. The first one, I think Lori's going to join us, Lori Roach. Not Lori.
No shot.
This is I need a motion to approve the revisions to District Section 125 plan.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Ladies.
Hi, good evening. Thank you. So our flexible spending plan, our flexible spending account plan is what we have in place according to Section 125 of the IRS code. It basically allows employees to pre-tax their insurance premiums, pre-tax money contributions to their health savings account, their flexible spending accounts. A flexible spending account can be for health expenses or can be for dependent care expenses. So in preparing for this plan year, we went through the document. We need to clean up some of the language a little bit to clarify who's eligible for the insurance premiums to be pre-tax if they're eligible for the benefit. And then we're also taking advantage of an opportunity to allow us to expand who we can allow, who we offer to enroll in the dependent care flexible spending account. So this basically allows us to offer that benefit to more employees.
Generally, this is their money pre-tax is being set aside, and this is expanding a little bit what they can use that money for.
Yes, it's allowing more employees to enroll in independent care, so they can redirect their salary into their dependent care expenses, use that to pay for child care expenses. It's allowing more employees to do that.
Does that also allow what they're directing not to be taxed?
Yes.
Good. Is there a limit?
Yes, there is a limit. The IRS sets the limit for dependent care at $5,000 a year, and for a medical spending account to $2,500 per year.
That's a change. The 2,500 just came about last year or 2 years ago?
It's been within the past few years. I can't exactly remember the year, but within the past few.
Okay, thanks. Great.
Any questions? Okay. Any other conversation? Then the motion is to approve those revisions. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. All right, thank you.
Does that take place this year, right now, immediately?
November
It's already in it?
The expanded
November
offering
1st.
would be November 1st.
Okay, thanks. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the bond issue purchases and related contracts between $7,500 and $150,000. I'm not sure. Mr. Rooney and Mr. Friend are here. Just as a reminder, we do this, this can be up as this bond issue goes through. We've somewhat arbitrarily drawn a line of $150,000. Those items that are over $7,000 but under $150,000 we'll lump together. Those items that are over $150,000 we'll vote on one at a time just to separate them out. Now tonight I think we only have one item and it's under $150,000. So, wait, I guess I need a motion. And motion to approve the bond issue purchases and related contracts from $7,500 to $150,000 as submitted.
So move.
And a second.
Yeah, we just have one small item tonight that is the construction projects taking place at Ellisville Elementary. It's coming out of the plumbing refresh, the cycle money that we set aside for plumbing refresh. The work will be performed by Kelp Contracting. We actually had a fortunate situation. They're doing some road improvements in the front of Ellisville Elementary. We were able to secure them as a contractor, and they're also the contractor on that project. So ended up saving some money on that because they'll already be mobilized in the area. So this is a meter pit upgrade that we've been asked to do by Missouri American Water.
Looks like you got 3 bids and that's the most cost effective one. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Would you refresh us, since this is a refreshing thing, on what they're doing at Ellisville?
They're doing some road bed improvements on the sides of the roads there. They're expanding the road a little bit and they're improving the water service down through there. And as they're doing that, they asked if we would upgrade our aged water vault and water meter and shut off at the curb.
So that's city that's doing that?
Correct. And Kelp is contracted through them. So we've also...
They asked us to do it, but they wouldn't pay for it?
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna ask.
Excuse me?
They asked us to do it, but they wouldn't pay for it?
No, that is our responsibility. From the curb line in is our responsibility off the main.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All right, then the motion is to, where's the motion? The motion is to approve the bond issue purchase. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. That passes. Thank you. Next item is a PIN form for policy 4120 for employment procedures. I think Dr.
Yeah, actually, this is real short. The board's aware of that, so Katie can definitely answer any questions. Both of these next 2 items are PIN forms, and again, just to refresh on the PIN process, all we're asking tonight is the board's approval to review and potentially look into it, maybe make some recommendations coming. This one in particular, as the board may recall, just recently we talked about policy related to the board's ability to give me the right to approve employees that we need to hire that need to work because of the time of the year. If it's in the summer, it's in between board meetings, we need people to start immediately. Last year, the board voted to grant me that ability, and it was only for that year, and you voted to do that again this year. In order for us to make that a permanent possibility, it takes a policy change. So we're asking you to allow us to review that. That's not agreeing to change anything. We'll bring those recommendations back at a later time and go through the review process, and the board will have the opportunity to vote.
And what we envision is as we've been doing in years past, it's an interim ability to approve somebody so that you don't have to wait for the next board meeting, but the board still approves every hire, so that does not change.
Right. It's always brought to the board.
Is this a major overhaul of the policy, or is just tweaking the policy? If I remember it. That's what I thought it was. Okay. Tweaking.
Any other comments or questions? And the motion is to approve the review of policy 4120. All those in favor say aye.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bill, we need a motion and a second before we can take the vote on that?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We didn't do that. We need a
That's
motion
okay.
to approve the policy review.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any
Okay,
other
now we're
comments or
ready.
questions? Thank you for keeping me on. All those in favor of approving the motion to review the policy 4120, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Thank you, that passes. The next one is very similar. It's a PIN form for policy 4520. And I need a motion to approve the review of policy 4520.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. In the right order that time. Gentlemen.
Good evening. 4520 deals with the payment of salaries to our staff. The clarifications that are included in the PIN, the recommended changes, include assigning a number to the salary election form that our teachers provide to the payroll office of how they elect to have their summer pay paid out at the end of the contract year. So it's really just standardizing the form that's used internally, and it's being included in the language of the policy. It also defines or clarifies the actual due date of that form, the policy, and also provides more information on what the teacher schedule is, or what the salary schedule is. It's included in there. So the recommended changes do not change any processes or procedures that our employees are used to. So it's just clearly just cleaning up the language involved in the policy.
Like the last one, this is, the approval tonight is just the approval to look into policy. It's not approving a change, it's just the review. Any other questions or comments?
Are these required by the government? Are these things you have discovered need to be done, or just things that you will help in the processing of everything?
The election form is required since we allow the option for our teachers to take a lump sum at the end of the contract year or throughout the summer pay. We have to provide a form. They have to provide us a form of how they want that paid. So that is required under Section 409A of the IRS code. So the changes are just really just standardizing the form that we're using internally.
We've been using the form, haven't we?
We have been, yeah.
We're just getting the standardized one.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All right, then the motion is to approve the review of policy 4520. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Peter, that passes. Thank you. The next item is the discussion of board retreat discussion items, and we don't need a motion, but I think, Ms. Mom, are you?
Am I in charge of this?
You're in charge.
Again? All right, I'll be in charge of this. How do we want to do this? Last time what we did was people emailed any topics to me, then we put together agendas, so maybe Gretchen, you can help me with that. Sure. Is that the way you want to work this again this year? Or does anybody have any topics off the top of their heads?
We have some newer board members, but it'd be helpful to, can we get the list of what the topics were last year and send those examples, and then
You have that somewhere?
Sure.
If not, I have it somewhere.
helpful for everybody to understand what kind of things we are talking about.
I know we had Lisa Stump, I believe, or someone talked about the sunshine law. Geez, it's escaping me what we even talked about. Do you remember?
We talked a lot about board meeting structure and the creation of the agenda, kind of went through a discussion about that.
We also developed topics that we would include in the agenda.
We did.
Almost
We
every
did.
month. That would be another good topic. Topics that not only we need to know, but we think the patrons would like to hear.
All right, so we'll ask Ms. Vito to send out the topics from last year, and if everybody has suggestions. We've got a little bit of time, but if you could put a deadline on that, it'll kind of help people to...
Well, maybe we'll have a tentative agenda for the next meeting that we kind
Oh,
of
I
talk.
can do that. I can work with
Okay,
that.
we'll have something
Sure.
tentative,
For the
so in the
9/17
next week, why don't you say the next week, by next Thursday, if you have topics you really want to talk about, just send it to me and then we can chat.
Yeah,
That sound good?
that'd be that.
That retreat is open to the public.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It is.
Will it
It's
be here
in the
or where it's gonna
library
be?
usually.
Maybe we do it in the library. There's seating, and there are not many people attended. It tends to be a lot of procedural things. You know, we're not voting on anything of any consequence or anything. So, yeah, everybody's welcome to come generally if it's not of a lot of interest, but certainly it's open.
All right, so by next Thursday.
The next item is a proposed agenda for the September 17th Board of Education meeting. This is a discussion item, so everybody,
So you probably want to throw back on there something about, is it on there already? About discussion of the,
I don't know
there you
what it
go,
is.
board retreat Thursday, October 8th. So that's good. It's on there now.
Are those other agenda items, Drug-Free Coalition Week, that those things are on there? They'll be on there? I mean, those are,
Yes,
That's
these are things that people have,
Oh,
the
you
time
got
of
you.
year.
Board retreat should be
We
moved
typically
up
do
to the
these
agenda,
things
right?
at that
So we
time
can
of
discuss
year,
it. The board
or
retreat
if there's a need for it.
should be moved up also onto agenda items. So we can
Great,
just
thank you.
discuss it, right?
Yeah.
yeah, we can move the board retreat from the future
Yes.
presentations up to an agenda
Up
item.
to an agenda item.
So that one looks pretty full next time, so.
Yep.
And actually, the one that says PIN for 4520, we did do that tonight. We moved that to tonight's meeting. We thought it might wait. We were ready.
do we have a quorum for the September 29th? I can't be here. Anybody else?
For the tax rate levy?
Yes, tax rate levy.
So, Kim is a,
It's a
It's
Tuesday,
a Tuesday
September.
night.
Usually that's a fairly brief, it's a
Half
legal
hour
requirement that we
total.
do it, but it doesn't take very long.
There's typically 15 minutes for the hearing and 15 minutes for the meeting, and a half hour, we're done.
All right, well, anybody has any suggestions or additions for the agenda next time, please send those in. Next one is future agenda presentations and events to attend. I noticed everybody got a list, thank you, I think Kathy got that here, of events that are coming up here soon in the district, so you can take a look at those. Any other comments or suggestions? Unless there's something else anybody wants to bring up. Going once, we are adjourned. Thank you.